2 years ago, Dylan Sullivan's artistic ability was limited to drawing stick figures. But now, every point, every line, every shape is done with mathematical precision. Her unrelenting focus and attention to detail once served her as a judge on El Dorado County's Superior Court. But after a decade on the bench, the familiar language of court cases became foreign. She went to UCSF with concerns. That was nearly 2 years ago, and that was when she found out the part of her brain that allowed her to make sense of complex cases and use language was deteriorating. Sullivan was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia, a type of dementia.
It is the most common cause for cognitive impairment from a neurodegenerative disease in people under the age of 60.
Dr. Bruce Miller, while not Sullivan's doctor, is familiar with her case and is the director of UCSF's Global Brain Health Institute.
The remarkable thing about it is that it tends to attack circuits in the front of the brain that are responsible for, on the left side, language.
Wow, it's so precise.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
And on the right side, social skills, social cognition.
Primary progressive aphasia impacts about 1 in 100,000 people, including actor Bruce Willis, who was diagnosed in 2022. Sullivan retired from the bench within days of her diagnosis. In the last year, her family says her ability to communicate has quickly declined. But a new talent for drawing developed just as quickly.
When we image the people with this condition, that the back part of the brain, which is completely unaffected by the neurodegenerative process, is very activated. It's hot. There's increased activity in the back of the brain. And this is the part of the brain that we call visual cortex. It processes the visual information that we see in the world. And I think this hotness, this increased activity correlates with an visual interest in a lot of the people who become artists.
An artist is certainly what Sullivan has become since her diagnosis.
I think what we've learned from artists with this disease is that there's lots of the brain that is functioning well, maybe even better than it ever did before the illness started. We think that our responsibility at UCSF is to eventually find powerful treatments. When someone like our patient shows the courage to come and get diagnosed, and we have a chance to talk about the remarkable things about her, I think it opens up the possibilities for cures and maybe even for her.